Welcome to Quillbilly Garage. Today we're taking a first look at this 1952 Ford Mainline barn find. Not to be confused with this 52 Ford. This is one that we did a video on a year or two ago where we pulled this out of the basement of an old car dealership where it had been sitting for, well, since the early 80s. This 52 Ford is another fun story. This is another one of those cars that I was aware of for decades. I remember knowing which house it lived at, so to speak. It's another one of those classics that was driven as a daily driver for a lot longer than most. And then one day I didn't see it anymore. It turned out I think the guy had it parked in his garage. Years went by, and I was with a friend of mine at another guy's house, and out in his barn, this car was sitting there, and I asked about it, and it still belonged to the same owner, but he had parked it here in this guy's barn as a temporary storage that ended up lasting a little longer than temporary. Anyway, more years go by, and I get a knock at the door. And the guy, I didn't recognize the guy that came to the door, but he introduced himself. I recognized the name immediately and knew that he was the owner of that 52 Ford. I believe he stopped by because he saw this car in the driveway. He asked if I was interested in his car. I said I was, and the rest is history. So I called this a barn find. I guess technically I did find it in a barn. That's just not when I got the car. The other one, the gray car, is a flathead V8 3-speed column shift car. This one is an overhead valve 6-cylinder 3-speed column shift car. And like I said, this got driven as a daily driver for a lot longer than most cars. I believe he bought this car at a dealership in the early 80s. And this is a dent from one time when he got, someone ran a stop sign, as I understand it, ran into him. So he and his wife drove this car for years, and when their kids were born, I believe this is the car they came home from the hospital in. When it was parked in that barn, a tree came down and crashed through the roof of the barn and dented the roof of this car. As you can see, the bottom of the doors are pretty rotten. It's got 53 Ford taillight lenses on it. The car was running when it was parked in that barn, and I imagine that it'll still run. It's had some rodent activity, maybe squirrels. So I'm excited about getting it running and driving it like it is. I guess we won't worry about opening the trunk right now. This door's the same way, not quite as rusty, but still pretty bad at the bottom there. Pretty much bone stock under here, although it does look like It's got a, is that a chrome valve cover or was it just painted silver? I'm not sure. He did upgrade it to a dual reservoir brake master cylinder with the proportioning valve. Got this hubcap on here, protect the carburetor. Still a 6-volt system. And that's pretty much it. Like I say, I'm looking forward to getting it cleaned up, getting it running. The brakes do still work. Should be a fun little local cruiser. Maybe I'll come across some better doors. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I will do more episodes on this car as I get it back together and on the road. Thanks for watching.